story of today's scrimmage?
You know, Coach, this scrimmage here, Coach always challenges us by mixing up the groups and letting maybe the first unit go versus the second unit. And I thought our first group of guys got off to a good start, pretty much consistent throughout the entire scrimmage. One mishap there at the end that we got to clean up, but overall I thought they did a good job of executing, but can't say the same about the second unit. Obviously, you know that one thing we've prided ourselves on in the past is just having quality depth, and it can't drop off. It doesn't matter if you're the first one to run out there or the second one. The standard is the same, and the second unit didn't have the consistency and execution that we wanted to see.
What was the problem with the second unit?
You know, they're going against Brent in that defense, and the speed of the game probably picked up a little bit on them. And obviously, we got some guys down on the offensive line, so we're mixing and matching with some of those young guys. And you know, a guy in particular, man, that's tough on Raven. You know, if you're in there running with the second team, and you got Tyler Davis and all these guys coming at you, and they're moving and doing different things. But you know, but also some of the older guys too. You know, Chase had a couple of decisions that thought he would have made a better decision. You're used to seeing him make a better decision, and had a couple drops, and so just inconsistency at all positions.
A name we haven't heard on campus, Lynn J. Dixon.
Right.
How has he been so far?
You know, that's a good thing. You haven't heard his name. You know, because he's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, I tell you what, he's matured a lot. You can see that he has a renewed sense of urgency. He understands the expectations of being the guy that comes in right behind Travis. And again, what I was talking about a second ago, there is no drop off. You know, he's been battling. They're all sore. They're all beat up. We've had a lot of live snaps here the last couple of weeks, but the last couple of days. But he came in today, and I thought that he played fast, made a couple of good cuts, and so I was pleased with his performance today. Seems like he's really starting to understand too, from a pass protection standpoint, where we want to be targeted. But again, he's a young guy. He's got to clean up his technique. But I'm pleased with his understanding of defensive structure and being able to at least sort out all the different blitzes. And we just got to clean up with a point of attack when he gets there.
So the season started today. Do you have a number 3 on the depth chart at running back?
Trying to figure that out. And the young guys, you know, I think they came in and started fast, and then they're realizing what college football is all about. They're into that second week of camp and a lot of live snaps, and then the installation hasn't stopped. So things are starting to pile up, and I tell you what, I've been pleased with Rencher. You know, Rencher's a guy that if he just has to accept his role and understand that when he goes in there, don't try and do too much. Just be yourself. And you've seen flashes of him, you know, making some really good plays. He's a very reliable guy, very trustworthy in pass protection. You know, the biggest thing for him is trying not to do too much, play within his game, and he'll have a chance to compete for that spot. But you know, we're going to discuss it as a staff. You know, try and make some decisions after we watch this tape. But I couldn't say that I have a no doubt number 3 yet.
How are y'all holding up health-wise on offense?
You know, the offensive line probably is well, early on in camp, it was a tight end position. You know, we had a lot of guys get banged up there, but you know, majority of those guys have come back, with the exception of Davis. And then now it's kind of the offensive line. We've had guys that have gone down on the offensive line, which you know is a good thing for us in terms of giving other guys opportunities. But at the same time, too, you hate it for those guys because they're on the sideline, they can't practice. But overall, well, with the exception of those couple guys on the offensive line, the receivers and the backs and the quarterbacks have made it through pretty good.
Davis being still missing another scrimmage, obviously that puts him way behind. How are you guys trying to at least keep him somewhat caught up?
You know, he's one thing about Davis is you can tell it's important to him. I mean, you haven't seen a change in his engagement at all. And in the walkthroughs that we have in the evenings, we're able to get him in there and at least get him lined up, put him through some of the plays, see if he can identify his fits. And comes from a great program. It's got a really good football IQ. You know, the biggest thing is we just got to see once we're able to get him out there live from a physical standpoint. You know, I think from a mental standpoint, you know, he's going to be where we want him to be. It's just now, can he do the physical things we want him to do?
With Chase, was it just a bad day, or is it something he's kind of been inconsistent doing?
Who's that?
Chase.
No, I think it was more not Chase's. I mean, Chase has been good. I think it was just today. There were a couple of, and again, it's you know, for quarterbacks it's tough because the receivers, you know, they might not be running as fast as they were day one. And obviously, I made the comment the other day. I said I think the legs wear out before the arms do on the quarterbacks, and so we just missed a couple throws and in a couple situations, and you know, we're in a couple of critical situations just trying to get rid of the ball and not, you know, sometimes they get a false sense of security in practice because they can't be touched. Sometimes they hold on to that ball, try and drive it down the field. We just want to see them get rid of it more consistently. But no, today was just a day. You know, it's not indicative of his game.
Who are you seeing step in at tight end behind JC?
I tell you what, I've been really pleased with Jalen. You know, Jalen is a completely different guy from the spring. You can tell now that he's a lot more confident. He's catching the ball well. You know, he's starting to understand all the different fits in the run game. So I've been impressed with him this camp. And I tell you, Luke Price is a guy that could fill a role for us. You know, at that position, and he's caught the ball, you know, really well this fall camp, and he brings an element of toughness.